Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a look here at Kadena and see kind of what's going on. Been a little bit since I've covered this, but I've got a lot of requests here recently. I could kind of see why we had a very large candle wick up here today. I'm going to see what's going on there. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, just love teaching people how to trade. I really hope you can learn something here today. If you want to become a better trader, I have a trading academy, community, and I send out signals for every single trade that I take so you learn how to structure your trades effectively. Check that out. CryptoCache.tech is the site, linked in the description below. Looking here at KDA though, simply put, we are stuck under 50 on the RSI presently. It's tentatively underneath or hasn't broken above yet. The one-day candlestick hasn't closed. And today we saw a very, very large candle wick. Now we'll take a look at smaller time frames to identify, but the fact of the matter is it's still in this descending type of pattern. Until it breaks above, we're really not going to have much in the way of a breakout. Today probably is and should be the breakout though. Keep this in mind. Even though the candlestick isn't like super strong, it hasn't came up and came down. You can see that we're potentially going to close over the 50-day SMA. It's just the 200 we got to worry about later. Okay. So that being said, we can also see the price jumped up to exactly $8.31 again and got rejected. So it's 2 times in a row in the last couple of weeks. So that's obviously a point of resistance. Okay. Between now and then, we got some room to cover, but I would say ultimately we are breaking this trend line, and it does look good because it's right above the 50 as well. If we can get the one-day candlestick to close, just say somewhere in the range of 680 or higher, we'll be in really good shape. Okay, so all in all, not bad stuff here. So your MACD's about to converge as well. That's extremely important. So honestly, the macro looks very good here so far for Kadena, even though this candlestick is a little larger than I love to see. What I mean by that is this 4-hour candlestick. We'll see how much time frame or like what that burst was. It doesn't look like a very healthy increase. And that in itself, obviously combined with a tremendous amount of volume that came kind of out of nowhere, explains the reason why it's retracing. Okay. But also, same accord, could imply that we might have a stronger foundation of volume now at that price point for the price to go higher. All right, so we'll take a look at that, but we're kind of right in between both moving averages and the 4-hour, so nothing great there. The 4-hour doesn't look fantastic. It's kind of ugly. We did get a convergence on the MACD, of course. How can you not with that significant increase? And we're up over 50 and sitting at RSI, so I would say about 60% good, 40% bad here on the 4-hour. In other words, we need the candlesticks to close a little bit higher, preferably over $7 to have any type of extreme confidence here in Kadena. But the truth be told, it's likely going to make a higher low. So as long as this next low isn't somewhere in the range of 630 or lower, then we should be in pretty good shape to start making higher lows and potentially higher highs, right? So again, a little premature to see that I don't love this amount of volume in a short amount of time. That's just me personally. I'm not a parabolic lover, if there is such a thing. And if you watch my channel, you kind of know that I like to shoot you straight. I try not to BS you like most others. And in this sense here, I can tell you that that's not a healthy increase. It's the reason why it was followed by an unhealthy decrease too, right? So if we look at just take a quick idea, like let's take a look at the volume weighted average price. You see how far outside those standard deviation lines it got? That is too much. Even though there's an increased amount of volume, it takes the last 24 hours, expressing it as a price, we're back below that average, right? So the amount of volume that we've had, we're technically underneath that. That's not a good sign. Basically means that's going to work as a resistance. I'm not saying that this is foreshadowing a significant decrease in price, but I am telling you that right now it makes perfect sense why the price came up that high and came down so quickly. Taking a look at the TD sequential, we hit a 6 and got a significant reset back down to a 7. So we have a potential of 2 more hours of bearish divergence followed by a potential consolidation and then increase from there. The likelihood of it going up from here is much higher than it is going down. Keep that in mind. Even though there's a lot more volume or too much volume in a small amount of time, that's actually good because it gives us, again, that volume foundation and that base of volume that helps us understand that we should expect the price to make higher lows and higher highs moving forward. There's no guarantees in that, but I think the likelihood of it going tremendously lower than right now is pretty low. And in that sense, we shouldn't expect the price to break below the 50-day SMA, right around 680 would be preferable. A close above 680 today would be great. That'd be very helpful. Make a higher high and higher low on the smaller time frames. And of course, more importantly, give us that break of that descending trend line. So mostly good stuff here for Kadena. Again, not a healthy increase at all. Obviously, that's the reason why it came back down. But if you look at the Ichimoku cloud, we're well above the cloud, but we're probably soon to intersect. So basically, it just means that unless Kadena can shoot straight up from here, we're going to get a sell signal from the cloud telling us that we probably want to take our profits. I'm not telling you to necessarily do that though, because I think the likelihood of it continuing higher from here is quite probable. How much higher? Not that much, right? And we might see this again. Don't get me wrong, but that's kind of an anomaly, right? We shouldn't expect to have volume spikes like this. That's very unhealthy. That's very out of character for Kadena recently. And I would say it's more positive in the overall sense of the fact that there's more money coming into Kadena than ever before. But could just be a simple pump and dump, and that's the end of it, right? It doesn't feel like that, but it definitely feels like the beginning of a continuation of the upside. It's just I wouldn't expect this type of result right here just yet. We've got a lot of room to cover. We got to get up over some key level resistances first, and then we can have that conversation. For now, though, I do think Kadena, dollar cost average as per usual. If we look at the amount of volume, just in the more recent past, there's the most amount of volume right at and or below the current price point. So 690 is effectively what everyone establishes or understands as a good value. It comes below that, the price will come back up to regulate. Price goes above, it comes back down, right? But again, this much volume is not healthy, but it's a good kickstart to start moving forward, right? That would imply that we might have less selling pressure moving forward. So I can confidently say that it's more likely the price to go up than it is to come down moving forward here, based on this breaking that trend line. But just note that there's some key level resistances somewhere between $8 and $9, and obviously right around $10. And we got to be aware of the fact that we're probably not going to just blast right straight through those. All right. Again, just something to be aware of. I hope you found benefit here. Of course, Kadena is definitely still a good, I would say, long-term potential. It has great potential to do well, but if you're expecting any kind of thing like this to happen again, I wouldn't. Okay, the likelihood of that occurring a second time is extremely low, especially with there being so much more volume here and having been kind of an ugly stepchild for too long. This makes sense, obviously. It has to turn around sometime, but for now, you just got to be realistic in the sense that getting a 20x or 5x or whatever the case is, you're not going to see that from Kadena again, at least not in such magnitude. Okay. So just say you invest at $7 right now, it goes up to 14, you 2x, that's fine, that's great. That's probably more likely than getting a 3, 4, or 5x, at least in the immediate future. We'll take a look at this again later. I could be wrong, I hope I am, but I can tell you though at this point, breaking this trend line is a very positive thing. Close above 1680 would be excellent for us today. All right, thanks again for your time. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you're not currently a community member, CryptoCache.tech is the website. I look forward to getting to know you better. You have yourself a great rest of your day.